Hey there, my name is Dylan Gaskin, and today we'll be presenting my level, The Journey Begins. So some of the things we're going to be talking about are the story and description, the objectives, the mood board, the bubble diagram, a top-down map that's just kind of basic with some icons, the more in-depth top-down map with paths, objectives, and all that good stuff, the IPM chart for the mechanics that need it, and of course all my custom mechanics. At the end, there will be a reference sheet for those of you who need it. So let's start off with the level story. So the level follows a young man who is tasked with his mother to enter the forest and gather some herbs for some potions. Now, to do this, he must go through a lot of trials, to say the least. Those trials can either gain him fortune or gain him misfortune. But there are trials nonetheless. So let's get to the level description. My level is supposed to be seen as a third-person action-adventure game. You start off at your mother's alchemy shop, and from there you have to find a way to make your way out of the city. Now, that path is entirely up to you. But of course, there's 3 paths you can really take. The one you take, like I said, is entirely up to you. You either try to find a way to get to the city gates, climb the walls and sneak around the guard that's up there. This is a pretty hard one. Or try to find another way out. There are also a few side activities that you complete. Now, these may help you with the main story, or main objective, or they may just be there to make you feel good, or that you might just find interesting. So let's talk about the village. This is the mood board for the village. I wanted to give it kind of like a classic or high fantasy feeling. The floor is supposed to feel warm and inviting to make you say, okay, that's where I want to go, because that's the main objective, to get to the forest. The city's supposed to feel more alive, bustling, close together. Shops, homes, people everywhere. The sewer, however, is supposed to feel lonely, scary. What could be around the corner? Is there something behind you? Let's talk about some of the objectives. Now, the main one, of course, is to find a way out of the city. And it has 3 paths to do it. Either you can convince the guard to let you out of the main gates, climb the wall, or navigate the sewer. Now, the optional objectives are a little bit more nuanced. You can stop the mugging. How you do this is entirely up to you. Loot the very many chests I have hidden around the level. Stop the cult that's in the sewer. Or just talk to some people. Now let's talk about the bubble diagram. This is supposed to be the basic layout of how the level works. So you start off with the alchemy shop, and you have a few ways you can go from there. You can go to the streets, you can go to the alleys. From the streets, you can sneak over the wall, and you get to the forest inn. You can try to convince the guard to let you out. You can do this by several ways. Get money so you can buy food. Guard. Stop the mugging. He'll let you out. Etc., etc. Or, last but not least, you can navigate the sewer. Now, either you can stop the mugging and then get to the sewer from there, or just sneak around, navigate the sewer, and get on out into the forest. Top-down map, this is the more simple one. It just shows my alchemist, my tavern, my sewer, my sword shop. And I don't have an icon for it, but this is the city gates. The sewers, which is entered right here. You come in right here. You can either go directly out, or you can explore around and find your way to the catacombs. This can be shown with my top-down map with paths and objectives. Now, all these little purple ones show your side objectives, yellow and main, red being out, green being, well, not out, but level in, green being where you start. These green with the down arrow are where you can like go down, like this hole right here in the sewer. This is that hole right there where you can go up and you'll be up here. Now either you can go to the level in or go back down if you want to, if you feel like you didn't explore everything. Go down in here to stop the cult and loot their treasure. or just look around for lootables and people to talk to. The IPM chart only is really needed for 3 map mechanics, which is the dialogue, which is only used on 2 paths, either trying to get over the wall or trying to convince the guard to let you out. Combat's only really used when trying to go down to the sewer. Sneaking as well. Sneaking is also used when trying to get over the wall, however. That's where it's the most important. Now, combat getting down into the sewer, you're introduced to it when you try to go down into the sewer, because the mugger can be there and you can fight the mugger. In the sewer is where the cult is, so if you end up down there and you find the cult, then you're going to have to master it pretty fast. Dialogue, you have plenty of options to learn how to use it. As for looting, it doesn't really need an IPM because everybody knows how to loot. It's an affordance. And it kind of tells you on the screen too. Now let's talk about dialogue, also known as persuade and barter. Now this, unlike most games, is not really skill based. It's more of how well can the player judge the conversation. Now, if the player is really good at judging how the conversation should be flowing, they can convince the person to do just about anything. Avoid combat, get some free stuff, or enter restricted areas. Now, if they don't judge the conversation well, let's just say it can lead into combat. So combat's all about timing and maintaining balance between blocking and attacking. Now, your block bar is kind of like your health bar. As long as you're blocking, it doesn't do any damage to your health, but it'll slowly tick away your block bar until it breaks your block. Whenever your block is broken, you cannot block again for a while. So from there, it's about trying to avoid the attacks and attack back. Stealth is completely vision-based. If you crouch, the guard has a harder time seeing you. Pretty much makes you invisible to the guard. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of judge where he's looking and be very careful. But crouching makes it a lot easier. It does still fill up a bar, however. Looting is, well, looting. It only works if you haven't looted it. So that way players can't just farm a box, and it gives you a random amount of money between 0 and 100 silver. Now, while the reference page is up, we'll talk about how data is collected. So every time you loot a box, it tells the game mode, player looted a box. Every time you kill an enemy, it tells the game mode, hey, player killed an enemy. Whenever you talk to someone, hey, player, talk to me. Of course, whenever the player has money on them, at the very end, it'll figure out how much money they have and say, this is how much money you held. But that is going to do it for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to whatever else I do in this class. This class has been pretty awesome.